live on planet Earth, a beautiful and naturally prosperous place in the universe. This is the year 2013. Although this generous planet gives us everything, we find ourselves unhappy. It is as though we are looking for something but don't know where to find it. Why is that? And why so much aggression and so much unfortunate events? Oppression, wars, so much pain, governments killing their own people, and so much greed and betrayal. The material world is a place of duality. There is confusion everywhere and beauty everywhere. And we try to understand why we are here. We wish to be useful, for our lives to have meaning, and we would like to know what is really going on.
Don't be misused, because maybe some of these people are not really on the side of the poor.
To understand, we must look from a different perspective. We must look from the heart and a higher consciousness, something we all have access to. So let's observe from the perspective of the soul, because the soul has no designations. Let's then observe from a higher consciousness.
It's interesting that mindfulness becomes a revolutionary act.
Everything else we do is cosmetic and superficial.
For some, being a noble person is about being born in a palace, or being the son or daughter of a king or queen. But being truly noble is a lot more than that. It takes courage. It is a state of mind and a code of conduct. Unfortunately, nobles mistake taking birth in a noble family for being on par with or becoming God. Kings are justly called gods, for that they exercise a manner of resemblance of divine power upon earth. God has the power to create or destroy, make or unmake at His pleasure, to give life or send death, to judge all, raise low things and make high things low at His pleasure. And to God are both soul and body due. And the like power have kings. They make and unmake their subjects. They have the power of raising and casting down, of life and of death, judges over all their subjects and in all causes, and yet accountable to none but God only. But we have seen that most rulers have brought only distress and oppression to the people.
Burn the witch!
Not only did King James VI rewrite the Bible during his reign, but before him, Henry VIII had separated the Church of England from the Roman Catholic Church under Pope Julius II. Henry VIII established himself as the supreme head of this Church of England, only to be later excommunicated from it. This was mainly due to his 6 marriages, from which various theories are disputed about his wife's death. But what does the Bible say about nobility? The noble man makes noble plans, and by noble deeds he stands. So why do we continue buying the idea that the nobility have the divine right to rule? Are they noble in their actions? Have they proven themselves worthy even of our attention? When we look back at known and accepted history, nobles have lived lavish lives while the people are mostly oppressed, killed, abused, and robbed. In fact, they've committed atrocious acts against humankind. So why are they still ruling today? And why are nations without royalty worshiping celebrities as if they were their nobility? Perhaps propaganda, a sophisticated type of brainwashing? A rare example of a ruler with perfect nobility is Lord Ram. In the ancient Vedic scriptures, it is described that Lord Rama would personally see that his subjects were completely happy. He made sure they knew God and understood that divine relationship. In Rama's kingdom, it is described that parents didn't lose children, that the streets of the kingdom were washed with perfume, and beauty, happiness, enlightenment, and prosperity for all was the norm. Today we have the complete opposite. The nobility are not only in bed with the lowest of thieves, thugs, and murderers, they command them, harassing the pious population and mostly causing untimely death. In England, the nobles hide behind the crown state. The roots of landowner and tenant rights in modern times are from the feudal system imposed by William I, who lived from 1028 to 1087. No matter how you look at it, the country is owned by the Queen and her lords and sirs. Nothing has really changed, as the crown state is a property portfolio owned by the royal family. They are one of the largest property owners in the United Kingdom, with a portfolio worth $7.6 billion. The state also owns 144,000 hectares of agricultural land and forest, more than half of the UK's foreshores, and retains various other traditional holdings and rights, for example, Ascot Racecourse and Windsor Great Park. In the best case scenario, one will be able to only lease property for some time because the property will always return to the Queen. Or even worse, the Queen has the right to confiscate your property at any time for government use.
Last week, the head of the country's central bank floated the idea of dumping the greenback as the world's reserve currency, replacing it with an international currency.
Thousands of people gathered to hear Barack Obama deliver key foreign policy speech on his current European tour. His vision for America's place in a new world order.
Returning vets could be a risk to our nation.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
And one of the ways it will drive the change is through global governance.
I think a new world order is emerging.
This is a hoax and a scam which is designed to transfer wealth and power from the private sector to the government sector and from the government of the United States to a world government.
And those people who have been yelling, oh, the UN's going to take over global
conspiracy
theorists. They've been crazy, but now they're right.
And who got the money? Hundreds and hundreds of banks. Any bank or that has access to the U.S. Federal Reserve's discount.
Tell us who they are.
No.
You know, financial terrorism. They have the ability to tweak the knob.
I am proposing that the Federal Reserve be granted new authority.
The ultimate goal of the carbon tax and the cap and trade is to destroy production.
This energy tax is the largest tax increase in American history.
We're actually creating a global warming police. So number one, they can come in, the federal government can come in and inspect your house and send you the bill. We're setting up a global warming Gestapo.
One of the things that if you talk to our generals, they are desperate for is a civilian counterpart to our military forces.
I am fierce.
And this is what I wear.
Senator Barack Obama's presidential campaign is asking Missouri law enforcement to target anyone who lies or runs a misleading television ad.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
The president, when he was in Europe last week, he met with the king of Saudi Arabia. He appeared to bow.
President Obama today proposed something new, something called prolonged detention. Pre-crime is where people are arrested and incarcerated to prevent crimes that they have not yet committed.
Those who control the money, military, medicine, and media control everything. Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. The Federal Reserve was created on December 23, 1913, with the enactment of the Federal Reserve Act. It's owned by private bankers who are completely above the law and Congress.
And the only thing the politicians are the wise guys for the crime bosses, and the crime bosses are the Goldman Sachs gang.